right, welcome back to Walk-Ins Welcome. We're glad to have another episode with you today. We exist to help medical facilities triple their revenue through exceptional patient value and really, really, really good marketing services.
Yeah.
Michael's with me today as usual. I'm Nick Horde. I'm the host. Michael, what's up, buddy?
Man, I was just thinking we broke 1,000 listens recently.
We did. Come on, high five on that.
About that.
Boom.
And it's actual people that care about what we're talking about.
Right.
It's not just spam. We're so excited for that.
That is good.
But so today we're going to actually talk about, I don't want to say future, but what's happening now in our world is TikTok.
We are in the future.
Yeah. But no, but no, TikTok is, okay, we've all heard about TikTok nowadays. It's the fastest growing social media platform out there. It's only, 3 years old?
I have never resisted a platform as much as I have TikTok over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm all in trying to get everything up to speed on TikTok.
Yeah, so it's funny with TikTok, it's one of those, nobody knew if it was going to last or not, because it seems like the big three giant of the social platforms would just eat it up somehow, but it is taking its own thing. And now Instagram and stuff is trying to mimic them. So
I just saw a notification on that from our social media director here.
Mm-hmm.
That, hey, they're about to change Instagram to look just like TikTok,
a video first platform.
But that's what Meta does, man. They take what everybody else does really, really well. They copy it and monetize it.
My guess is that they probably try to buy TikTok and then like, nope. So let's go make our own version of it.
I'm honestly, as a marketer, man, I'm not complaining. It is nice to have a viable competitor because it's always been you either have Google for search or I know that we have Microsoft and all that too, but Google is for search. Facebook's been for social media.
Yep.
And then there hasn't been any outliers that I'd love to see another search engine step up to Google. And I'm incredibly proud to see another social media platform step up to Facebook.
I think search engine wise, the only thing that comes to mind, that would be DuckDuckGo. That seems to be the only.
Here's what bothers me about DuckDuckGo. I have a love-hate with it. I think it's an outstanding platform. But they promote the fact that they're privacy,
but you can run ads,
and then yet you can run ads to a targeted audience. Now, how do you get the targeting if you have privacy set?
Yeah, exactly.
Something don't seem right about that.
Well,
their ducks aren't in a row.
Exactly. Anyway, so we are talking TikTok ads, and why are we talking that? We're starting to embrace it as a service to our clients, and we're starting to see really good results. I think some of the notes I had here was simply the results we're getting off TikTok is like Facebook 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
You put $1 in, you get $4 back.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays with Facebook, you put $10 in, you might get $10 back, or it may take a while. Like it's frustrating sometimes.
It's hit or miss is the problem with it.
Yeah.
We have one client on Facebook that does exceptionally well.
Oh yeah,
but
crazy.
But even as well as they're doing, their cost per lead is still double what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's not getting any better. And then I think Facebook just reported a true loss of users recently, which was the first time ever in their company, which to me is an indicator, okay, something dramatic's about to happen. Either they're going to completely redo their platform or just start falling apart.
We shall see. Logged in a few weeks ago and Facebook had completely killed their ads manager from the standpoint of how you access it through Business Manager and all of those fun things. Now, if you are a marketer listening to this podcast because you do medical marketing for your clinic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who may be a doctor or you run the clinic or whatever, you have no idea how frustrating it is when you tell nobody that you're changing everything and then you just do it.
Yeah.
So I get progress, but it needs to be tested and then launched out. Anyway, we're not here to poo-poo all over Facebook today. What we're here to do today is to maybe make an argument that your practice, if you're seeing patients of any kind, you probably need to be on TikTok.
Yeah. And we're not talking about TikTok just to entertain people. We're talking like actual ads.
Right.
You can be on there and like, we don't necessarily have a service to have content constantly updated for your TikTok account. What we're talking about is like actual TikTok ads that you can run and put money toward and have a call to action of some sort and generate leads off of. And it's something that, and the coolest part to me is that you don't even have to have a real profile to make it run. You can run through a Business Manager and
not a real profile. Like you don't have to have one at all.
Yeah.
You can open up a TikTok ads manager without having a TikTok account,
which is kind of weird to me that you can do that. I love it, but it's weird. Like,
well, they're monetizing their platform.
Yeah, they're trying to make money now. So
right.
It's huge. So let's talk about it. Nick, give me some information behind TikTok nowadays. Like who's on TikTok?
Well,
not 20-year-olds, right?
Right. So the biggest convincing measure for why any clinic needs to be on TikTok right now are these three demographics that I'm going to give you right now. Or I'm sorry, these three statistics that I'm going to give you right now. The first one is 52% of the people that are on TikTok are over the age of 30. They're 30 plus.
So basically decision makers that have money.
That's right. So not only are they decision makers, not only do they have money, they're not in their prime 20s where they're not even thinking about healthcare at all, or being a patient or anything like that. They fall into one of two camps. They need medical attention, or they have kids that need medical attention, or they want a massage, or they want to lose weight, and they have the means to do all these things.
Or their back's hurting or whatever.
That's right. That's right. The second one that I want to throw out there is the most engaged demographic is 55 and older.
Which is wild.
I can't even understand that right now.
Let's think about that, because most of the time when a new social platform shows up, it's always like the 20-year or 15, oh, this is our thing. And then it goes to 20-year-olds, it's our thing. And by the time it gets to the 45, 50-year-olds, it's a dead platform.
Right.
And then this just turned it on its head and saying, we got lots of people, but really the older demographic loves us.
Right.
And I get it. I mean, for those who've never opened a TikTok account just to do personal stuff, once you're in, it knows so much about you so quickly.
Yeah, they do not tout that they're privacy first. I'm just going to go ahead and give you that now. What you search for is what's going to pop up in your newsfeed, and even the things that you don't. And I'm going to be a little transparent here. I have a company TikTok account. Go follow us on Nick the Marketer. Okay, I believe it's at Market Me Nick. But when I open that up, Hannah is on there more than I am, I'm sure. But when I open it up and look through, because I'm looking for marketing ideas, it knows that I'm a guy because it does nothing but show like women all the time, right? Yeah. I don't want to see that stuff. That's not the point. The point is it knows more about you than you do, and it tries to fill in some gaps if you don't tell it what to look for.
Yep. And then it leans into, okay, if you like this, you might like this, and all of a sudden you're in a whole different world. It didn't know it. Like I know right now my TikTok account thinks I'm obsessed with home improvement, and I kind of am.
I was gonna say it's not wrong, is it?
It's not wrong, but it's also like, okay, I know I need it's like a hard reminder of the thing I need to finish at my house.
you got in the heated floors, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing, the other statistic I wanted to bring to your attention is that it is the fastest growing social media platform in history. So Facebook, to get to 1 billion users, took just at 10 years.
But think about that.
Okay. Yeah. And that's not necessarily slow. Like that's moving with some excitement and some authority. TikTok is at 1.3 billion.
It's
2.5 years old.
Yeah, it's not even 3 years old.
It's not 3 years old.
And it was under some major political things 2
That's
years
right.
ago. Like it was about to be shut down, and it just, yeah.
That's right.
It's
so
crazy.
I think when you see something grow at that rate, and then you see that most of its users, over half of its users, are over the age of 30, and that the most active demographic is as a patient care provider, your number one demographic, you have to pause for a second and say, I wonder if that's a platform I should probably consider.
Yeah. Do you remember what TikTok was originally?
I don't. I was, like I said, I was resisting. I was like, I don't want any more social media.
So TikTok used to be the duet thing. Yes.
Is that what that was? Where people would like sing together and stuff?
Yeah. So it was a split screen, and then they would complement the tick and the talk.
Okay.
That was the whole idea.
I had no idea.
And then it was like a 20 or 30. Now it's expanded. Now it's like an education platform.
Can be.
Like there's entertainment and educate, right? And they are owning that.
And so we talk about entertain and educate all the time. The execute part is what we're trying to convince you to do, and that is run ads on the platform.
Yep.
Okay. You're seeing ad conversions pennies on the dollar in comparison to Facebook and Google. All right. You're seeing significantly more of them. There are more of those leads that are qualified, okay, because they physically have to put in their information. Even on their lead forms, it doesn't autofill. You have to put in that information. This is a platform that, if done thoughtfully and done well, doesn't require you to be a genius creator. It requires you to just run an ad.
Yeah. And in terms of like, how do I even get started with TikTok ads? Ads.tiktok.com.
Got that? Write it down. Ads.tiktok.com.
And if you know, and we were talking about, you don't need a profile. It literally has, you want to log in with an email address, or do you want to log in with TikTok
or with a phone,
or with a phone? So
I don't want to give out my email address. Put in a phone number.
Yeah. So they've made it that simple. They're not trying to complicate it. Even when you look at the platform from this standpoint, it's like, obvious this is something new to them,
Right.
that are trying to keep it dead simple.
That's right.
For those who run Facebook ads, this is night and day.
I love it. And once you get into the ads platform, it's going to look a little different than Facebook ads, but you're going to get really familiar really quick with the back end of it because it still falls under campaigns, ad sets, and then ads.
Yeah.
So the thought process behind it is still the same. You want to think of the big picture, then you want to dial. That's the campaign level. What is the whole purpose of the campaign? Then I want to dial it in and talk to the people I want to talk to. That's the audience. That's the ad set. And then I want to deliver the message. So delivering the message on the platform is going to be done through the ads. So you can micromanage all three of those different things in different ways, and you can put these ads essentially in front of whoever you want to put them in front of.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about some examples of what ads could be.
Okay. Good.
So a couple of basic ones we can talk about from like an urgent care standpoint or for most medical. A patient checkup. What does it look like to have a most general patient involvement, right? Where you're doing some basic stuff. And the best part with these ads, you don't have to talk. There's no real acting involved. There's follow up procedure, and you're good to go. Because what we do and what most of your ads will do is you're going to put sound on top of it. You're going to put captioning on top of it, or the auto generated person that talks for you.
Yeah, the lady. Do you live near this location?
And then they completely mispronounce that location.
That's right.
Yeah. And so
I want to hear it say Albuquerque all of a sudden.
Or like I'm originally from Gadsden. So when people say Atala, but the northern or the computer way, it's Adela. So, but anyway, so that's an example. If you offer a service like x-rays or any type of scans, or maybe you do some type of COVID test or whatever it is, showcasing a particular service. And then what's it like to even check in as a patient, or what's it like to check out as a patient, or what is something unique to you guys? Like I know a bunch of urgent cares we work with that have mascots and stuff like that, interacting with the mascot.
Yeah.
So
what's it like to find you on Google and immediately check in right there on the app?
Yeah. We're kind of walking through, and what we're talking about is like 20-30 seconds, not a whole lot. You do it with your phone. Like there's nothing special here. You don't have to go excessive. And then once that's done, you load into the platform, and then you customize it for the ad itself. And if y'all probably don't even realize you've had an ad pop up in front of you, the only real difference between like a TikTok video and a TikTok ad is you get to like learn more call to action button.
But even still,
it's so subtle.
It's not only is it subtle, it doesn't show up until 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like they've taken the skip ad feature on YouTube, and then they've taken the video ad feature of like Facebook and Instagram, and they've kind of merged the two. It's kind of cool. They make it subtle. It's not in your face.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And that's what we kind of like. It's kind of like the Wild West right now of ads. And so all that being said, it allows the flexibility within the platform. It allows you to kind of screw up and still get some results from it. And then you can quickly make changes to it.
That's right.
So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, and then also just as a small snippet, when you do record, make sure you're recording with your phone straight up. Because when you're on that app, but if you ever use a TikTok app, it's a straight up platform.
It's funny. I've got videos that I created 3 and 4 years ago, trying to teach people how to turn their phone sideways to landscape view, because that's the way people needed to record at that time. You do that now. The platforms knew that nobody was doing that, so they adjusted all their platforms for the
thumb.
For the thumb.
Yeah,
everything is for your finger.
That one-handed hold thumb swipe.
That's right.
And that's what we live at now. But when we say that's in a nutshell, like that's how simple TikTok is now. Nick, you can dive more into what you can target from it, because I don't know as much as you do, but
right.
Dig into that just a little bit.
I mean, if you're doing any kind of social media advertising at all, it doesn't look much different than this. You can target based on what people look like. Now, I'm not talking about black, white, purple, gray. I'm talking about like, are they, 25 to 34? Or in this case, are they over the age of 30? Or are they the 55 plus demographic you're looking for? So you can target by demographic. You can target by income levels. Are they high income level earners? Are they average income earners? Are you talking, I hate to say it like this, so I won't reveal the client, but we have one client where we're looking for the lowest income earners to target to, right? And they are incredibly responsive, by the way. So if you ever wanted to find a large people group that wants to do business with you, target low income earners.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy, but if you offer insurance or Medicaid or any of those kind of things where you accept those things, The low income earner demographic is not a bad one to target. Anyway, you can target based on location. Now, it is not as granular on TikTok as it is on Facebook and Instagram and Google.
So how close can you get?
The city,
Okay.
right? So let's just say that you're in Texas. Well, you can let's dial that into, let's say
Austin.
Houston
Yeah, Houston.
or Austin, right? So if you look at Austin, you can either do Austin or you can do the Austin DMA, which includes the suburbs. That would be like, for us, it'd be like Hoover and Alabaster and all that, right? So you can include all the suburbs, but what you cannot do is get granular down to like a neighborhood or something like that. So,
But you know it's coming.
that's right. So if you're trying to invite people to come into your clinic, to your medical facility, and you really only serve a 10-mile radius, you're going to get more leads, but not all of them are going to be as qualified, and you need to target your ad that way. One of the things that we do is, let's just use, are you in the Hoover, Alabama area and can make the drive over to our location? Here's X, Y, and Z offer for you.
And this to give y'all context. So we're in the Birmingham area, and Birmingham is a large city in Alabama. And then Hoover is about 10 miles outside of Birmingham city
That's right.
limits. And it's just a suburb, essentially. It's a big city, but it's its own thing, but it's always tied to the Birmingham DMA, essentially, and all targeting. And so, but like you said, like you can't size it down, but in the ad, you can force it.
Yeah, a great example of this would be Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Atlanta, people are not going to go 10 miles past their
Take-
past where they are. Now, if they work somewhere, they'll go in that 10-mile radius, and then they'll drive, 2 hours, 1 mile down the road. Little joke there. Just not a good one. Anyway, yeah, right. Seriously.
14 hours.
But in that ad, if you live in a certain neighborhood and you say, hey, if you're in driving distance to this neighborhood, we have an offer for you.
Yep.
And download our coupon or come see us or whatever it is that your call to action is going to be. So anyway, the location-based services aren't quite as granular and dialed in as TikTok, as Facebook and Instagram, but I do foresee that becoming a thing in the near future.
Oh yeah.
You can do interests.
Which to me, I think is probably the most precise version.
Yeah.
Because like Facebook has been offering interest for years, but we don't use Facebook for interest like we used to.
No.
It's kind of like Facebook's kind of dictated to us what our interests are.
Yeah, it's telling you who you are instead of you telling it who you are.
Yeah, and then TikTok is like, no, tell us what you want, and
That's
we're
right.
going to make it really good for you.
That's right.
And so just think about that in that capacity, even if you're not urgent care or medical, but just in the sense of there's a certain interest that would pique people, TikTok can make a lot of sense.
Right.
So,
and then you can spend as little as I want to say $1,000 a month is where they have the threshold set for agencies.
okay.
All right. So obviously being an agency, we have a different threshold than the individual user. So if you as a business are not running ads for multiple different businesses, I believe you can go as little as $10 a day. Right? So that's $300 a month. That's $300 a month. And I'm just telling you now that even at $10 a day, you're going to get an ROI on that.
Yeah, it's just
incredible. I do not believe that about Facebook.
Yeah.
If you only have $10 a day at Facebook,
keep it.
Go to lunch.
Yeah. Go to lunch every day.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah. I mean, and that proves the point too, because we always tell like a lot of our clients when it comes to ad spend, you have $1,000 minimum, that type of stuff. With TikTok, there's a little more flexibility inside of it. But we will tell you this, no matter what platform you're on, if you're just throwing a little money at it, generally you're just burning it.
That's right.
You need to actually have a real budget toward it and keep it for a while, not just, please don't say, I'm going to try this for a week. And then you just burn $200 and nothing happens. Like every platform, no matter how good it is, has to learn a little bit about your ad and how people are interacting with it.
Right.
So,
well, last thing that I have for this episode is just the optics of your clinic, of your medical facility, the optics of who you are. You're going to have more influence over that on TikTok than you have on any other platform, because you get to put the type of video content. You can't put a still image up there.
Yeah.
Right. So you get to put the optics that you want out there. So moving away from ads, moving into content, you're taking a closer look at your facility, your team, your services, the type of things that you want to entertain, educate, and execute with whenever you're putting content together. You're controlling the narrative. I know you feel like you can do that on Facebook and Instagram. I get what you're saying. Okay. The reality of that is your business page is only showing up to 7% of that population on those platforms. But on TikTok, 100% of the people who are engaging on there, they don't even have to like your page. right? They don't even have to like your business at all. They'll still show up if it's of any kind of interest.
Yeah, and you have to think about like what we're trying to explain to you guys is simply this is on the forefront. Take advantage of this
Yeah.
now, because as with all platforms, as they mature, they start to restrict accordingly to make it more beneficial to them, not to the end user ultimately, because they're a business.
Think about your business. You started out wanting to take patients. At some point, you increased your price,
Or you define who you want your patient to be. And you weren't just-
restricted it.
yeah, you were, because I won't, like when Nick the Marketer started, when any company starts, you just take on what you can to grow.
That's right.
And then you kind of figure out who you like and who you don't like, and then you start tightening things down. Well, this is what we're telling you right now. TikTok ads is like a brand new business to them, and they're just bringing in the money, so then they can kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. So timing is actually everything. Like we're recording this right now toward the end of May of 2022. And how long has TikTok ads been out? Like
That
the
platform?
like
Maybe about 3 to 6 months.
so this is baby stage, right? This is all baby stage stuff. This is the time to act. If you're listening to this and it's 2023, you've probably missed some of the mark, honestly.
And I'd really like to think that it's not going to turn into one giant advertisement.
No,
All right. But I am already on TikTok. About 1 out of every 10 videos that I get is some type of an advertisement. And you can expect that to go from one in 10 to about 1 in 5. It's when it's like on Facebook where it's, 3 out of 5. That's
Yeah.
that's a problem. What the good news is we're not there yet. People aren't jaded by it yet. They're okay with you advertising there because the people don't think that the advertisers are on the platform yet.
yeah,
And because of that, they think you're a very forward-thinking company if you're running ads on that platform.
oh yeah. And also, like if you notice too with TikTok content in general, the production value is not super high for any of them.
That's right.
Like they're all pretty like using their iPhone 9 times out of 10. So just keep that in mind. Like we have an episode dedicated to video production stuff, and we talk about that. But TikTok is that perfect example of just pull out your phone and start. That's all you have to do.
Make tons of content, use Descript to chop it all up. Go back and listen to probably an episode or two ago where we talked about all that kind of software that'll help you at a really, really cheap price. But let me give my final encouragement here is if you don't want to run ads, at least go start a TikTok account and do something. Have some of those people that are on your team do some TikTok videos and get them up. They're going to do good for your business if you're consistent on the platform.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Well, that actually went longer than I thought. There's nothing wrong with that.
We'll take it
Happens every time.
every time.
We have 3 bullet points really off of this.
Right.
Full episode. But
We'll take it.
all right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Have a great week.